So boys, today we're talking about tone and informality. We've had a similar topic, which was about showing personality. Very similar. I'm just going to be talking about how you should be speaking to your prospects, guys. Because it's just a mistake that I keep on seeing, and super easy to fix. In fact, it actually makes your job as an appointment setter easier because you can just be. You can just be yourself. The conversations will flow a lot better. You'll be a lot happier about replying. Like, you'll enjoy the job a lot more because you're just having genuine conversations. They're going to be flowing. You're going to be vibing. Everything's going to go well, and you're going to be making more money because of this, boys. So, tone and informality. So, open your phone. Go on a chat between like your best mate or a friend of yours, or I don't know, a girl that you're talking to, whatever. Yeah. Notice how you speak to them. You don't speak to them in a formal way. The people that you've got a personal relationship with, you don't speak to them formally. You just speak to them casually, formally. Hey, bro, what you want later? Or whatever it is. Like, hey, do you want to come watch a movie with me later? I miss you. Like, you use slang. You'll speak, like, use different vocabulary. Like, you'll just be chilled out. That's what you need to be doing in these conversations, to be honest. Like, even slang. You can use slang. It's more important that you just come across as a genuine person rather than a salesman. And the more informal you can be with them, the better, especially when you are dealing with the general public. Obviously, you need to understand your target audience. Sometimes you're going to be dealing with the general public, sometimes you're going to be dealing with business owners. In both situations, you need to be informal, but especially with the general public, all right? Should be conversing with leads in the same informal tone you'd be speaking to your friends, especially when your target audience is the general public. All of those spam accounts in your Instagram DMs with one follower, they all use the same formal tone and they all get ignored. That's let me get an example right now, right here, right now. Let me get an example. Just took this screenshot, just airdropping it over. Boom. Look at this. So let me just try and cover all that. Hey Temi, I'm reaching out on behalf of, we really like your content and blah blah blah. We provide blah blah blah. It's just a spammy message. It's just a spammy salesy message. I'm not going to reply to that. You know what I mean? All of these accounts, they all get you get them too. I know you get them too. You ignore them just like I ignore them. Why? Because it sounds too formal. It's too salesy. It's firing off red flags. I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. So, in order to actually build rapport and get responses, you must keep things light, friendly, and informal. This will lower their defenses, meaning that they give you their attention. Because when you're messaging someone, you want their attention. You don't want them to be on guard, giving you dead replies, just wanting you to go away, pretty much. You want to lower their defenses, gain their trust, build rapport, and then close the deal. That's the name of the game. You must apply basic in-person social skills into your appointment setting. I highly recommend reading the book How to Win Friends and Influence People if you haven't already. In fact, I'll probably put a link. In the chat on the day of recording this. It's the 25th now, but this is day 33. I highly recommend that book, boys. Also helps to break your messages up into 2 or 3 separate ones rather than sending paragraphs. It's a lot more aesthetically pleasing. It's a lot easier on the eyes, and it makes your messages look a lot more personalized. It also looks more casual. So many reasons why you need to do this. Don't just put big blocks of text. Break it up into 2 or 3 separate messages. Even like on your opening message when you first message someone, if you're doing outreach, don't just put a block of text, break it up into 2 messages. Seems more casual and less copy and pasted. If they think that your message is copy and pasted, they're going to run miles away from you. You're not going to get a response. If it looks even remotely copy and pasted, they're not interested. It's going to make your chances of booking the appointment a lot more difficult. Super important. Don't sound like a robot and don't sound like you're copy and pasting. Even if you are copy and pasting, it can't sound like it. Like, at least like acknowledge them a little bit before doing the copy and pasting bit. And if you are going to copy and paste, I recommend going into your keyboard settings on whether you're on laptop or on phone or whatever, and setting up shortcuts rather than actually copy and pasting, but have a couple of different shortcuts for different situations. So, for example, if I don't have any set up myself, I've got some on my phone but not here on my laptop. But for example, if I wanted to say, here's the okay, perfect, here's the link for my calendar, book a time suitable for you. Maybe I'd make a keyboard shortcut for like Cal, and then it prints that. But yeah, try not to look copy and pasted, boys. It's super important. Understanding your target audience is key because people connect with people who can relate to them. This is a big one. You need to understand your target audience. Like an example of this is me as an appointment setting coach now. My target audience are people who were in my position. My target audience are people like me a year ago, where they want to make money online, but they just don't know how to. So that's my target audience. When I'm messaging people, I can relate to them. I was messaging a guy today, maybe he will join the course in a few days. He works as an Amazon delivery driver. I could relate to him because I used to work at Amazon. So I said, I message that, like, add your personal experiences into your conversations, and that will just help you build that connection with people. Try to put yourself in their shoes and insert yourself into their tribe. We are all human, so we can all relate on some level. Even if your target audience isn't like you, like maybe you're targeting business owners and you've never been a business owner. We're all humans. We can all relate on some level, boys. So it's super important to relate, show genuine interest, and show that you care. All of these things, it's going to help you a lot with your appointment setting, boys. It's going to help you convert a lot more leads. It's going to make people like you a lot more. And the leads that you're getting, they're going to be higher quality leads because they're actually happy to work with you. That's all for today, boys. Hope it helps. Keep going. Right, boys, so today we're talking about blunt prospects. Obviously, we're on day 36 now. You've probably experienced the full spectrum of different characters that you're going to bump into on social media when doing prospecting for yourself or for your clients. So different people have different action thresholds. Some people can be bothered to talk to you. Some people will be easy to talk to. Some people will be a complete nightmare to talk to, and it feels like you've got to force information out of them. But obviously, it's important that as appointment setters, we are able to handle all different types of people that we will encounter. So let's get into the document. As an appointment setter, you will experience the full spectrum of characters, including those who are blunt or direct. So normally the people that are blunt or direct are those people, as mentioned before, that have a high action threshold. They don't want to buy anything from anyone. They only buy things from people they absolutely trust. Those are typically going to be the people that are blunt or direct. So we need to find a way to lower that action threshold and get them to trust us a little bit. I'm sure you know by now, not all prospects are easy to work with. Some may be skeptical, unresponsive, or even rude. As an appointment setter, it's important to have a thick skin and not take it personally. So I know sometimes people are just going to be a complete dick, but obviously it's all part of the job. It's all part of the job. You can't get emotionally triggered by any of these people. You just gotta stay cool, stay stoic, keep that positive vibe, and keep pushing for those sales calls. Where was it at? Remember, it's not about you, it's about the product or service you're offering. One way to handle blunt prospects is to use active listening. This means listening to what the person is saying and responding in a way that addresses their concerns. So what this all comes down to is being genuine. Show that you are actually paying an interest in them. You're not just another salesman. You're not here to just print a script and pitch them and take their money and have a laugh. You're here to actually help them solve their problem. Listen to what they're saying, even if they're not saying a lot, because obviously the point of this is they are being blunt. Even if they're not saying much, use what you can and try and show that you genuinely care. Also, in order to actually get responses that you can actually respond to, and to actually show that you're using active listening, use questions that will force them to give you some sort of an answer. Like, ask them things like, does this sound okay to you? Or is this something that you're experiencing? For example, you want to find their pain point, right? But they're not giving you anything. They're not opening up, they're not giving you a pain point. So what you could do, for example, is I've recently worked with this company and they were struggling. They are a similar company to you, and they were struggling to book more than 5 sales calls per week. Is this something that you're also struggling with? Something you're also struggling with? And even if they're being blunt, they're still going to give you a yes or no. And that can help you sort of find the pain point and actually show that you care, even if they're not giving you much to go with. You've got to reword your questions in order to show that you're an active listener. This means really listening to what the person is saying and responding in a way that addresses their concerns. For example, if the person says they are not interested, ask why and address their concerns. Is this something you'd be interested in? They're being blunt. They're probably just going to put no full stop. Ask them why. You must be as genuine as possible and show that you really care about helping solve their problems. Yeah, your job as in any area of sales is to solve people's problems. We are professional problem solvers. That applies for appointment setting. It's important to use empathy, putting yourself in the other person's shoes and understanding their perspective. If for example, you ask them why they're not interested and they're not really giving you anything, that's when it's time to employ the empathy. Look, I know I'm just another stranger in your DMs. I don't know you and you don't know me. But I'm here to help. I'm here to help solve this problem of yours to hopefully bring in more results in the future. Something like that. Show that you understand their situation. Even if they're not giving off much, just try your best to empathize. It's also important to maintain a positive attitude. Like I said earlier, you can't take things you can't get emotionally invested in these prospects. You want to help everyone. You want everything to go well. You want to make as much money as possible, but you can't let these guys control you emotionally. Your masculine emotional frame should always be intact. This means being friendly, upbeat, and professional, even when faced with a difficult prospect. Finally, it's important to be persistent and not give up after the first rejection. Objections were made to be handled, boys. So obviously, as you know, these guys, if they're being blunt, just see it. If you say, "Are you interested in this?" and they say no, they might not give a reason. They might not give an objection. They might just straight up say no. But you've still got to handle it as if it was an objection. You've got to keep pushing until literally there's nothing left in there. You've got to, objections were made to be handled, boys. You got this. Anyway, hope this helped a little bit. Blunt prospects. The key here is just don't sound too salesy. Try and establish trust. Show empathy. Show that you're genuine, and rethink your questions in a way to sort of find the pain point, if that makes sense. That might be a bit broad, but if you're going to ask a yes or no question, make sure it's a yes or no question that is going to identify a pain point or not. Don't ask them a question like, for example, is your business going well? Yes or no. That's not really helpful. But you could ask them a question like, are you getting many sales calls? That's something that could be a potential pain point. Anyway, that's everything for this video. Keep grinding, boys. One of the best ways to actually increase your conversion rates when you are appointment setting is to just reply quicker. The faster you can power through these conversations, the more likely it is that they are going to go on to actually book a call and they are actually going to make a sale on that call. The reason behind this is because people buy based on emotion, not on logic. And when you can reply very quickly, you are stimulating their emotions. There's more enthusiasm going into the conversation. They're more excited. They've got less time to think, think as in apply logic. And therefore, they're more likely to go on and book the call. They're more likely to make a sale. By speeding up your conversations, you're doing lots of things. You are being more efficient with your time. It's going to be more time efficient for you. You're going to have to, because you're also going to be spending less time chasing people down and following up. It's going to make the appointment setting process a lot more enjoyable. It's going to make it less tedious because you actually get a chance to sit there and build a connection with this guy, and then you're excited to check in with your closer. Like, oh, how did Adam get on today? Like, oh, he was such a good leader. I remember talking to that guy, really good guy. Yeah. Oh, he sold. Oh, that's awesome, man. You're going to build that like connection with your prospects. So it's going to make it more enjoyable. It's going to make it more enjoyable for them. It's going to make them feel more cared for. The customer service is better. It makes them feel like you've taken extra effort to actually speak to them and provide them support. Let's say you're working with a really big account. Maybe you're business owners that got loads of messages, really famous guy, and you're actually taking the time to respond instantly. It's going to make them feel really special, which is great. It also means, when you're right then and there and you're having a live conversation, you know they're active, they know you're active, you're going backwards and forwards. They're more likely to do things straight away. Like, people are slow. Of course, I always say this. In fact, speed is the key to success. I always say this. Something that my mentor drilled into me. With appointment setting, it's absolutely the case. The quicker you go about it, the more likely they are to book a call. If you're going backwards and forwards, you've gone through the whole appointment setting structure within literally 5 minutes. You've been going backwards and forwards, asking them questions, bouncing off each other. When it comes to booking their call, they're not gonna. You've built the habit now. You've built the habit of instant replies and speed. You've built the habit of speed. When you send them the calendar link, they're not gonna mess around, dicking about. Oh yeah, I'm just at work at the moment. They're gonna do it straight away because you've already built the habit of speed. And they're gonna keep it going. They're gonna reciprocate. So if there's one thing, especially with inbound appointment setting, the quicker you can reply, the more you're going to convert. You're dealing with warm leads. You need to respond to these leads quickly in order to maximize your conversion rates. Sounds super simple. Sounds super simple, boys, but it's like genuinely super important. even if you're outbound appointment setting, or maybe you're inbound and outbound setting, you're just going about your day-to-day business, and you hear a notification pop up on your phone, and you think, oh, I'll reply to that in a bit. Then trust me, boys, reply straight away. The quicker you can reply, the better. A lot of blowouts could have been avoided if you just replied quicker, and that's a real thing. Like, a lot of the blowouts, the people that have left you on red, you might have thought there was a great lead, but you replied an hour later. Boys, that's why the appointment setting flow. I think the module's called appointment setting flow or something like that. That's why I emphasize the importance of prioritizing. You prioritize the newest leads first, because if you can reply super quick within the space of like under 5 minutes, under like 2 minutes, then it's got such a great chance of booking. Anyway, boys, hopefully you apply this. Speed is key. Of course, if you're just getting started with appointment setting, you might not be full time straight away. You might still have other day-to-day commitments that you've got to go about. So it might be a little bit difficult for you guys, but if you can set up a block each day to just sit down and just bang out messages, then awesome. That's great. Anyway, hope it helped, boys. Keep grinding.
Stand out to clients. So this is kind of something for people when they have a client, building on that client relationship, because that's what's going to in turn get you in these better situations, get you the better commissions. So building a relationship is super important. So first things first, you want to build a relationship because you want to work with people you like. Me, you can ask my brother, you can ask me. From experience, the people we work with are the people we like. I've got like my boys working here. My brother's got his boys working here because we like those people. You don't want to work with people you dislike because that relationship's not going to last long. So the more you like someone, the more chance you're going to be working with them for longer it is. So more likely to get better roles and earn higher commissions. If you build a relationship, you're the right hand man of a business owner. Maybe you've come a long way with them. Maybe you started from the bottom of them and they're doing well now. You're going to be the right hand man if they need anything else. They might want you to do closing now. They might increase your commissions because you're doing such a good job. They might want you to be a manager appointment setter. Like examples like Leo, Leo, Daniel, these guys have gone on from being a base appointment setter to better roles, managing appointment setter. And Leo's got his agency now, but that's where you start off. Being an appointment setter, there's these levels to it. You don't have to just be comfortable just being an appointment setter because there's more you can do from it, right? So rise to the top of the client. So that's kind of what I was saying with this. So a lot of people get mixed up kind of when they're trying to start appointment setting, always looking for the top, 100K follower accounts, the million follower accounts, the people with loads of followers. But that's not always the best way to go. That's not always the best route to take because, you might have times where the client with five, like think about our Instagram, mine and Temmie. So Temmie's got what, like 2K on Instagram maybe. I've got like 1.5K. You wouldn't think that we're making good money. But it's not like there's more that meets the eye than just the Instagram, just the social things. If you recognize that the guy's got a good offer, he's got a good funnel, he's got a good marketing, like these good things, the base of his business is good, he will be successful. So just stick with him. Like you can rise to the top with a client. That's going to be the best way to make more money. You might start off not making a lot, but in a couple of months' time, it might pay off if you rise to the top with them. And basically, the way you're going to build this relationship is by doing extra, by doing more. So offering advice, like obviously you guys aren't business owners yet, most of you guys. So I'm not trying to say like dictate the business, but for example, in lead generation, you can like offer them like putting a VSL in or using a CRM to manage their kind of the leads. But this is just things that might make them more money, bring them in more leads, and make their process easier. It's not something that they have to do, but you can offer it out there as tips to get better. And obviously, building that relationship, there's more to it. It's just going out your way, having that communication. That communication is one of the most important things. You want to be regularly talking to your client because you know that you want to be keeping them up to date with this leads these. I'm getting a lot of unqualified leads at the moment. Like you want that relationship, so it's super casual. You want to be talking just how you did in the initial call. It wants to be casual like that. You maybe want like a weekly checkup, but just keep the communication with your client and make sure you're speaking to them. You know, you might ask me a question about it, but also feel free to ask them a question. Obviously, within reason. You don't want to just be asking them every single thing because at the end of the day, they've hired you for a reason. They didn't want to be doing appointment setting. But there's points where you might need to ask them something so don't feel like you can't. So have that communication with your client and just do the extra work. You know, if they only want you to work 2 hours, maybe work 3 hours. Just go out your way to try and be as best as you can as an appointment set for them. Because not only is it gonna, you know, potentially get you better roles, but it can help you push on, help you kick on, gives you that credibility. And when you're working in maybe more high demanding set role, you're going to be ready for it. So just kind of go out your way, do the extra things, and put yourself in a situation where they'd be stupid to like get rid of you because you want to be working them as long as possible, make as much money as possible. Make sure you're such an asset to the business that if they lost you, then it'd be such a problem, right? So that's what I say. Make sure you're building a relationship with your client because this makes you stand out. Makes you stand out, gives you that credibility, and you can say to the next client that you may potentially had, "I did this for my last client. I did this, and it's going to be ways to get you next role."